Welcome back, everyone. These are the tomatoes that we planted together in a 72 cell count. And I wanted to hop on and show you, like you see how long and leggy these are getting. This is about the time when you would go and transplant them. So I thought I would bring you along to show you how I do it. Might not be the best way, but this is what I did last year and it worked. So let me sit these down. And hi everyone, it's Melody from Bacon Leg and Let's Dig It. Today's episode is going to be when your seedlings germinate and they're starting to look long and leggy, what do you do next? Which is transplant them. You can use cups like this in a tray to do it. I tried to be a little prepared. I have this tray here. Let me grab it. Clear cups that I pre-moistened, but I didn't soak them. They have the 2 holes on the bottom, and it's like one of those types of trays that has a little cutout for you to put the cups in there. So, yeah, I've been sick, having a hard time beating this upper respiratory thing, and I thought I would show you how I do it. So, I have a bunch of tags over here that you can't, I know that you can't see. Let me turn just a little bit. Okay. So, you can use bottom of a fork. You can use a little teeny tiny screwdriver that I use for my lanterns. You can use a butter knife. And I had something else out over here. I'm going to have to just grab another one. A toothpick. So, it's a few of the things that you can use in order to get your seedling out. Let me grab a toothpick. Okay? Or a chopstick. You can use that as well. You might want to have a little towel handy because I did wet them. I just didn't soak them. And on this side is peppers. So this most likely will not be enough. I thought about maybe putting 2 per cup, but normally I didn't do that last year. I just did 1 per cup. So if you have, I don't know if you can see this, but if you happen to have some that are like tiny like this, I mean, you could probably leave them, but if you're going to go through the trouble of transplanting them all, I would just transplant them all. So this is going to be the next episode in the garden series. As I previously stated, I've been bringing you along from beginning to end. Everything's been crazy here between me being sick and, so I kind of neglected one of my seed trays. And you can tell I neglected it because it got a little dry. And I lost, I think it's peppers. So it's time to get this done so they can go back under the lights. All I'm doing is just taking a toothpick and just fluffing up the top of the soil. I know a lot of people don't like Miracle-Gro. I've already stated that in other videos. I'm using the Miracle-Gro that's supposed to help protect, let's try to speak English here, of overwatering and underwatering. So I never used it before. I usually just use regular Miracle-Gro potting soil and or potting mix. But I don't know if it's if I should blame that or just the factor that I wasn't feeling very well and I neglected one of my seedling trays and I lost a couple, which that will be in another video because I told you I'll show you the good, the bad, the ugly. And within that video, I did state if you lose a couple, just find your tag. Probably still have time. Find the tag, what the tomato is, a few that died, put them back in, and get them back underneath the light with a dome cover on it. I think in my case, I left the dome cover on a little bit too long, and the soil got a little too dried out. Now, it's not bad to let your soil dry out, but it's bad to let it dry out for, I've been sick for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. That's a little long. So I did lose a few. Keep your eye out for that video. I'm not exactly sure when it will be posted, but it'll be up there. So next video to the garden series is to start transplanting. I'm hoping I could do this so that you can actually see what I do. I don't know if I could do it one-handed, but I will try. Let me grab a cup. This is one of the clear cups. It's just filled with the Miracle-Gro potting mix that protects against over and under watering. Usually I just use regular Miracle-Gro. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to try with a toothpick. And let's see. I am going to try to maybe sit you there for a minute. I just want to be up close when I show you this. Here is the one tomato. Can you see that? I did put 2 in there, but only 1 came up. So what you want to do is you kind of just want to take your toothpick, push it down, pull your seedling up like such. Let me get the pot, and I'm just going to press that back down because I'm pretty sure it had 2 seeds in there. And then you just want to make like a little hole in the top. Be gentle, and you not real deep, but just put your seedling in there. Don't compact it or anything. And push your tomato plant down just a little bit. First one. That is potted. So let me do another one. And then normally what I do after I get the tomato in there, I did wet the soil as I previously stated. I just didn't drown it or try to give it too much water. But let me get my squirt bottle, because after I get, now that one was pretty tiny, but after I get it in here, like so, I like to give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 squirts of water, and that's it. It goes in the tray. Now I'm going to try to do another one that's kind of on the longer side, which is, that was a Rutgers tomato, so I'm trying to watch where I take them from so I don't get them all mixed up because I have to label them. But let's go for this one. Can you see this? It's super long, it's super leggy. Let me point at it a little bit better for you. It is this one right here. It's got a little bit of a curvature to it. I'm just going to take the toothpick, and there is another little tomato right there. I'm just going to take the toothpick, and I'm going to lift it up very gently right from underneath of it so that the root stays attached. Same thing, get a cup, make a little hole. You're going to put your seedling down in there, and since this one is a little bit more leggier, I am going to put it down just a little bit further. Give it a little push. Don't go down too far, but I want it to not be as long and leggy. And if you're short just a tiny bit of dirt, you can always just put some more. So that one was longer. I just made the hole a little bit deeper, and I put the tomato right in there. So that's why I use a toothpick. And I don't want to lose my spot of where I'm at. So this is a Roma. I'm going to sit it right there. And the other one that I did was a Rutgers, and so I can get the tags. Because I'm not trying to make this a super duper long video. I know I say that all the time, but you know how much I love you guys. I could just yammer on for hours. So yeah, let's do another one. Let me get another pot out, and let's stay with the Rutgers, because there's another long one right here. If you can see that, let me pick you up. I took one from there, even though, wait, can you see my finger? Oh, there it is. Sorry, guys. I did plant 2 tomato seeds in there. Only one came up. This is the Rutger line. So I think I'm going to go for this one right here. So let me set you back down. Get a cup. Make a hole in the cup with your toothpick. And then be ever so gently. I like to go along the side and just kind of start lifting it until I can get it to kind of come up with the root. Sometimes you'll get more of a root than this, sometimes you won't. And then you just want to put it in the pot. I try to hold it up from the 2 little leaves at the top ever so gently. Actually, that one needs to go down a little bit further. I'm just gonna straighten it because it was starting to curl as well. There it is. Like I said, you can always add a little bit more dirt in the cup. Like this is super dry, so I don't know if I want to use that. Let me just grab a little tiny bit of dirt out of this pot, and I'm just going to sprinkle it in so it just has a little bit more. Don't put your leaves down in the ground, like down in the dirt. Sorry, I'm talking about the ground. But there was that really long, lanky one. I just went down a little bit further on the hole, and that's how you do it. So that was another Rutgers. There's another one in there that's getting kind of tall. So I'm going to put it right next to the side of where I'm pulling them out at until you get your tags and all ready to put them all in the container. So let's do one more. Get another cup. Just pre-moisten the soil. Don't soak it. Just going to fluff this up a little bit. I want to make sure. Okay. And we're going to make ourselves a little hole. And we're going to go for this little one right there. It's not as big. Just take your toothpick and try to come up from underneath of it without breaking the root off. I've had that happen before. There you have it. And you're going to put it right into the hole. And then got it, hold it up nice and gently by the leaves. Give it a little push. Oh, that one looks a little crooked. So those ones that have the really long kind of crooked stems, I just put it down enough to try to straighten the bottom out. And I just push the dirt around it. And then let's go in with the water bottle. Let me clean this up first. Put that back in there. And I usually do about 10 squirts. Okay. And I make sure that the leaves stay up above the dirt. So I know that I did 1 and I didn't do this one, 10. That was the other one that I didn't water. So these 3 are Rutgers. That's kind of how I do it. And then I try to get my tags so that I can label each cup. Because last year I really had a problem. You started off with a red marker. Didn't work out so well. And the red was wiping off. So some of the plants I had to guess on what I was doing, like what it was exactly. See if I can put you back down here. I'm running out of room. Hold on, guys. Let me fix this real quick. Slide this down. I have to remember where I took that extra plant from. Let me see. Let me look for a hole. That's why it's a little complicated. Please have your tags ready in advance. So these are the 3 rookers that I did. And this one, I've really seen where I took it from. I think it was a beef steak. That's exactly what I mean. It's why you have to have your tags ready, because already, oh no, I know which one it was. It was aroma. Okay, so that's going right behind the tag there. So this is how I do it for now, because I don't have all the tags out. These are the 3 Rutger tomato plants that I transplanted. This is the one Roma that I transplanted. Take it out with a toothpick or a chopstick, and let me put you back down. And yeah, I think a toothpick works pretty well. I did use a chopstick before, but it's a lot of tomato plants to have to get out, and you have to make sure that you have all your labels. I do have some tomato from when I used to buy them left over. I picked out tomato and peppers. I don't know if I'm really going to have enough tags, so that should be interesting. And I don't have popsicle sticks because I don't have small kids in the house anymore. So after you do that, what do you do next? So you get it out with a toothpick or a fine little tiny screwdriver like that, but you want to go down in and under and pull it up at the same time so you don't lose the root. I broke a few last year the hard way. I learned that. And then you want to take a little watering bottle and squirt the plant and around it. About 10 squirts is what I do. And then these will all go back into this tray here, transplant it, and it will go over on my grow shelf with a light on it. So that's how I transplant my tomatoes. I do the same thing for my peppers. It's a little tedious, but if you wanted to start off with a seed in here, I mean, I guess you could. It might take them a little bit longer to come up, but it would save you from transplanting. I like starting my seedlings off in trays, and I go through the transplanting part. Sometimes it's relaxing. Sometimes it's not when you don't feel well like me. So I didn't want to make this super long. I hope that you were able to see how I do that. So I have this whole tray here that I have to transplant. There are a few little babies in there. And then I have peppers that I have to do. I have another tray that's either some tomatoes, peppers. Like I said, I got sick. It looks like it dried out quite a few. But you can always look at the stick if that did happen. Now you could. And if you're missing a couple that didn't germinate, you can just find the tag, find your seed, get it in there, get the dome over it, put it in front of your grow lights. But we'll see if I absolutely needed them, because everything that I planted was my favorite seeds from last year, with a few new ones from My Gardener. So, but that's how I transplant into cups like this. So, I mean, it could be considered a little crafty. It does take some time. And that's probably what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the evening. I am doing this on Sunday. I'm trying to think. I put out a video today, Sunday, because my Friday video didn't upload. I showed you what the seedlings looked like once they first came up. That was probably about 2 weeks ago, I want to say. But I literally have been sick, fighting like a head upper respiratory thing for about 2 weeks. And I did lose a couple. But you can salvage it. Just find the tag, find the seed, and just stick 2 more seeds in there. Same way that I showed you when we were planting them together. A couple squirts of water, and get the dome on it and get it back under the heat lights on a seedling mat if you have that. And you should probably be okay. Like I said, it's a little tedious of a project. I probably should have started this earlier today, but I started to feel a little bit better yesterday, a little worse today. So I can't keep feeling like this because I have things to do. I have a lot going on. I will be doing a video that is going to be quite surprising to everyone. I'm surprised and shocked and a little frightened, but I will do a sit down and explain exactly what's going on so that you all know. And yeah, we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, so today's video was strictly to show you the seedlings and how tall and lanky they're getting. And, you know, time to get them transplanted into cups. And I wanted to show you how to do that. And then once you get it up out of there, whether you're gentle with the bottom of the back of a fork, or if you want to use one of the prongs, I probably wouldn't. You can use the tip of a butter knife to try to get it out. Just be ready with your tags to label everything as you go along. I don't think I have very many empty tags left, so I will have to figure out another way to label them. I do have some plastic spoons. I'm not keen on plastic. I'd rather have popsicle sticks. I wasn't able to get more of my tags from Amazon. They just said they were unavailable. So I'm going to be recycling tags, and then maybe I will take like a plastic spoon and permanent magic marker, at least on the spoon part, so the stick can go down inside the pot a little bit, so at least I'll know still what it is. You can come up with some ideas on, you know, how to label them. Even if it's something that's supposed to be in your ground, like a tag like this, you can use it to label it. And yeah, I mean, it takes some time, but it's really easy. I'm not trying to scare you, and it just takes time. So once your seedlings come up and they're starting to get really long and leggy like that, it is time to start transplanting them. And when they're that long, you want to make the hole a little bit deeper in the cup. Just take your toothpick and just go down a little bit and circle it around so that you have a hole that's like that. You can see that. Oh, that just fell in the hole. So that you can get the longer ones down into the hole so they're not as leggy. So that's the next episode in the garden series that I've been doing. It's time to start transplanting our seedlings and start putting them in some cups. I have plenty of cups. Not sure if I'll have enough potting mix to fill the rest of my cups, but I'm trying to get this all going for the garden 2020 with everything else that I have going on. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to show you how I do it. It might not be the best way to do it. You know, I'm not a professional gardener, but it worked for me last year. The only thing that I ran into was a couple of the tags, the writing wiped off, so that wasn't good because I was guessing a little bit like what's this, what's that. So definitely make sure you use permanent black magic marker. That will help you out tremendously. And fill your cups up in advance, and you know, you can bottom water them, or you can spray a little water over the top. Just don't soak them. And yeah, it's not that hard. It's pretty easy. And now we got to get crack-a-lackin' to get all these transplanted. Thank you guys for joining me today. And I will see you on the next video for something else that has to do with seeds. And subscribe, smash the like button. And I will see you guys on the next video.